Hello ladies and gentlemen, Gaming Medley here, and today we're going to have a chat about voice acting and video games. As some of you may know, last month, the Voice Actors Union, SAG-AFTRA or SAG-AFTRA as I'm going to refer to it, and the actors in it, which includes several notable voice performance artists such as Tara Strong, who you may know as Harley Quinn from the Arkham games, Will Wheaton, who plays Will Wheaton, David Fennoy, who plays Lee from Telltale's The Walking Dead, and Stephen Ogg, I hope I'm saying his last name right, who plays Trevor Phillips, declared that they were threatening a strike on the gaming industry. This was following several months of the union and its members attempting to negotiate with the industry to put in more safety precautions regarding actors doing vocally stressful work such as death screams or fight noises for hours on end, as well as requiring companies to let voice actors know in advance if their role will require motion capture, which shockingly they often don't do, and pay actors performance bonuses if the game sells over 2 million copies. This ensures that VAs for AAA projects get some payment if the game is big, while protecting indie game developers from having to shell out money they don't have. Just this month, as of October 7th, 2015, SAG-AFTRA has authorized a strike. This means that at least 75% of its members voted a strike would be beneficial. Although this strike has not yet been enacted, SAG-AFTRA now has the potential to do so if they wish. This has sparked a lot of discussion. Voice acting sounds pretty cushy, just like most acting gigs, and compared to several jobs, it kind of is. Kind of. Most voice actors love what they're doing, so at least they're not slaving away for years on end at a job they hate. However, people also tend to underestimate the stress voice acting puts on a person. The typical voice acting session is 6 to 8 hours long and includes stress acting such as screams. At the end of one of these sessions, as Will Wheaton explains in an excellent article on this topic that I will link in the description, a VA's voice is probably unusable for all intents and purposes for at least a week after an acting job. That's how much it shreds your voice. In addition, motion capture work can also make a job incredibly physically demanding, often unexpectedly since companies aren't required to disclose the need to do mocap beforehand when hiring voice actors. So yes, it is a stressful job, more than many people would think. In addition, voice acting can make or break a game. The gameplay is something that you, as the player, do. The player feels immersed in the game world they're in due to the actions they take in it in large part. In every aspect of a game, except for the voice acting and maybe scripted cutscenes, which are often aligned, the player is the artist. They decide what happens and how the game progresses. However, in sequences with voice acting, that control is taken away from you. You don't get to decide how the characters sound, their VA does. This means that a bad VA can break a game while a good one can make it. How many people can instantly recall what Geralt sounds like in the Witcher games, for example? Now imagine if he sounded like SpongeBob. Good voice acting contributes more than most people realize, so you're damn right that the people responsible deserve more. In addition, their demands are far from unreasonable. In fact, they're things that these actors should have gotten from the beginning. So why is there so much resistance to it? I'll tell you why. It's because allowing and acquiescing to the demands that SAG-AFTRA has made would set a bad precedent for the industry. As most of you might know, the other people responsible for making games great, the artists, programmers, composers, directors, writers, etc., don't have unions. This is fairly self-explanatory. People care about voice actors, they have large followings and fans. It's easy for them to raise a shitstorm if they get mistreated. Developers, on the other hand, are somewhat less likely to amass tens of thousands of Twitter followers for making a gun or two. Yes, I realize that's massively understating the work they do, but it's just an example, so bear with me. They're under the radar, so their mistreatment is often uncovered and left alone. They often work overload hours for less pay than they are even legally deserving of, and if they don't like it, they are promptly booted. It's standard practice to kick a dev to the curb after they're done with a project unless they're absolutely outstanding. Konami, for example, demotes devs to janitorial positions once they believe their skills have started degrading. These are passion jobs that people work because they love them, and while their employees see them as nothing more than a warm body to fill a seat with. And because programmers are being spat out of colleges and eager to start working as soon as they finish grad school, or even just get their bachelor's, anyone who is becoming disillusioned with the industry is easily replaced by younger, more naive, and in all likelihood, harder working young blood because they haven't been beaten down by the industry yet and are eager to prove themselves. So what happens if the gaming industry caves to SAG-AFTRA's demands? Well, it's not too far-fetched to say that some other members of the gaming industry will probably attempt to unionize once it's been proven that unions can make a damned bit of difference. And once unions are formed, gaming companies will subsequently be forced to actually pay these talented individuals what they deserve and not treat them like complete shit. The industry, being stereotypically shitty, doesn't want that. The gaming industry at the top is all about profits, and it's easy to forget that. I think most people do, in fact. It's easy to see it as this amazing combination of artists and people that together create amazing interactive experiences, but please, have no illusions. The people at the top don't care about people, they care about profits. So they can't have workers unionizing, especially en masse. One or two fringe groups are easy, they'll just fire them. Once everyone starts clamoring for basic rights and treatment that they've been denied, the problem just gets too hard to ignore. So they can't let the SAG-AFTRA requests be met, or that might happen. So the end result is a strike. The best we can hope for is the industry caving. Of course, people will be quick to point out that the companies will simply fire the workers who want unions, keep those scared into staying, and hire fresh grads to replace those lost. While this very well might be what would happen in this situation, I would hope that a mass movement among devs to unionize would raise enough of a PR shitstorm that these companies would think twice about pulling that. Then again, Konami, EA, Activision, they don't care because they're inhumane bastards. In conclusion, I think that the voice actors do deserve what they've been asking for in terms of accommodations from the gaming industry. However, I also think that we're quick to forget those who work at other parts of the gaming industry and who work in games, who make the experiences so much more than we give them credit for. So keep those people in your mind too. Okay, those are my thoughts on this issue. I hope you all have enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like, dislike, comment, sub, share, whatever else you think this video deserves. See you all next time. GM out.